There are quite a few new releases dropping tomorrow, not quite as big of a release date as we've seen in recent weeks, however, still some notable stuff, some big upgrades, so let's get right into it and let's get started with the upgrades. First of all, the long-awaited upgrade for Doom Eternal is dropping tomorrow on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S. Now, Doom Eternal is a game that already ran really well on the PlayStation 4, so it's not like it was in dire need of an upgrade, but now they're just going above and beyond the performance, and they're gonna have a performance mode. However, the performance mode in this game is gonna let you play in north of 100 frames per second. So if you want to do that, you have that option, or you have the visual route you could go, and that's gonna perform really well still, but you are gonna get added benefits visually. Doom Eternal, in my opinion, was one of the best games of 2020, so now, if you haven't played the game yet, and you have a PlayStation 5, get it on sale, and you're going to enjoy the game immensely. Obviously, no secret that Bethesda has been acquired by Microsoft, so the future of this franchise is probably going to lie on PC and Xbox Series X and S and whatever other platforms Microsoft decides to put out, but still, it's a game that, you know, is worthwhile playing, and I don't think just because Bethesda's been acquired, you should hold some sort of grudge towards them or anything like that. Great games are great games at the end of the day, and Doom Eternal is a damn good one, and one of the best in 2020, and this upgrade is going to be quite nice. And again, you can get the game for like south of $25 these days, so definitely one worthwhile checking out. Bear in mind that the single player is really what you're going into the game for, in my opinion. That component is just great, fast, visceral, a lot of blood and guts. You guys know the deal with Doom. I'm sure you guys have at least played the 2016 game, and if you haven't played that either, go ahead and play that as well. Next up, we have Greedfall. This is also an upgrade coming to PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S. Now, this is a game I've talked quite a bit about. It's developed by Spiders and published by Focus Home Interactive. Focus Home has put out some pretty good stuff in recent years, and Spiders has been a relatively consistent RPG development studio. Now, it's not like their games are complete blowaway titles, like I wouldn't put them at the elite category of RPGs. However, they've done some interesting games, and the thing about them that I've really noticed is that their games have gotten better and better with each outing, and I really thought they reached their pinnacle with Greedfall so far. Now, their pinnacle isn't like a AAA 9 out of 10 RPG, it's not that, but what Greedfall is a very competent and pretty well-made RPG that is consistent in all categories, and sometimes that's all you need. Sometimes you just want to get into a good RPG. Greedfall offers that, and, you know, this is a studio that if you look at their history of games they've put out, they've done some pretty interesting titles, as I mentioned earlier, like Fairy Legends of Avalon. I remember playing that on the PlayStation 3 on the PlayStation Store back when it came out, and I didn't even know until recently that they did that game as well. Now, that game is not very great, but again, they've been consistently getting better and better, and that game came out all the way back in 2010 or 2011. Some of their recent outings also include the Technomancer, Mars Warlogs, games like that. Again, relatively competent RPGs, but they're getting better and better, and they've got another game coming out called Steel Rising, and that looks really cool. That's going to be a PS5 Series X title, so hopefully that turns out really well. But the Greedfall upgrade drops tomorrow. It's the Gold Edition. If you haven't checked it out, again, it's a game you pick up on a sale or something like that. I wouldn't spend more than like $25 on it, but at that price point, it is pretty good, and if you're looking for a hidden gem RPG to get into, that's probably a pretty good one in my opinion. Next up, we have Curved Space, which is coming to all major platforms. It's an intense arcade-style twin-stick shooter that takes the classic formula and plunges it in the weirdest reaches of space. Battle cosmic space-invading spiders across curved landscapes where bullets hug the huge terrain while the horizon drops sharply out of sight. This is a game that was supposed to release earlier in June, however, it got pushed back a little bit. There's a free demo available over on Steam if you do want to check that out. Looks like a pretty flashy arena shooter, shoot 'em up style game. If you're a fan of shoot 'em ups, maybe a game you want to keep on your radar, and it is going to be a budget release, so that's always nice. At the very least, if you're a fan of shoot 'em ups, do keep it on your wish list, because I could see this being a game, you know, sometime in the fall. It's seeing a steep discount, and you might want to pick it up then, and it's a game that I really do feel like is going to get lost in the shuffle quickly after its release. So do keep that one on your radar. Might be a standout title. Again, drops tomorrow. Next up, we have Sky Children of the Light. Now, this is coming out for Nintendo Switch tomorrow. It is scheduled for a PlayStation 4 release later in the year, I believe, so bear that in mind. But if you have a Switch, this is definitely a game you want to keep on your radar. From the award-winning creators behind Journey, the 2013 Game of the Year considered by many, and the highly acclaimed Flower, comes a groundbreaking social adventure that is set to warm your hearts. Welcome to the enchanting world of Sky, a beautifully animated kingdom waiting to be explored by you and your loved ones. The world of Sky notes soar and explore 7 dreamlike realms to uncover the mystery, encounter and socialize with like-minded players from around the world, meet new characters, and experience heartfelt stories with each new adventure, season, and event. Feel free to express yourself with a delightful selection of character customization and enjoy a unique musical experience and create harmonies together. Obviously, if you're familiar with the development studio, you know they go for a little bit more of the artistic game development style, and this is a game from a visual standpoint is quite nice, and I'm digging the visual look of the game as well. Again, Sky Children of the Light will be out tomorrow, and also going to be out on Nintendo Switch tomorrow, but coming out later in the year for PlayStation 4 is Disgaea 6 Defiance of Destiny. Kind of surprising, this game actually came out on Switch and PS4 on the same day in Japan back on January the 28th of this year, but now it's seeing its Western localization, but it will be only available on Nintendo Switch for now, which again, relatively surprising given that Disgaea has had a pretty consistent release structure on PlayStation platforms, but they've been doing really well on Nintendo Switch as well. I'm sure they looked into sales numbers or something like that. I'm not sure the exact reasoning behind this, but again, at the end of the day, it is going to come to PlayStation 4 later on. Disgaea has never been a game that accentuated from a technical standpoint. However, if you want a game with a ton of content and a lot of humor, Disgaea is definitely a game that's worthwhile to check out. The game was received pretty well on Metacritic with a 77 reception, and the game was received well in Japan on top of that. You know, if you're a fan of strategy JRPGs, this is going to be something right up your alley and a lot of content. I'm sure at this point, you guys have played 1 or 2 of the Disgaea titles. I mean, we're at Disgaea 6, and there's been spin-offs and things of that nature. The games aren't for everyone. I think some people do harp on the visuals and things like that. However, you know what you're getting here, and what you're getting, while a little slow-paced to some people, it's also very content-filled and very rewarding at times, so I think this is going to be something a lot of people can sink their teeth into. But that's going to wrap up this one. Again, a lot of releases tomorrow, however, lower-key releases, to be perfectly honest. A couple upgrades. I'm excited for Sky Children of the Light. I think that could be a standout title. Curved Space looks pretty good, and, you know, Disgaea has had a long history, so there's going to be an audience incredibly excited for that. That's going to wrap up this one. Do sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.